Welcome to podcast number 23 of our AI-generated news summary. Let's dive into the summaries of our top stories. Our next story is titled, Stock Market Today, Dow Closes Above 44,000, Tech Shares Stumble as Traders Eye Inflation Data. U.S. stocks were higher on Monday, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average jumping about 300 points while the Nasdaq 100 and S&P 500 edged slightly higher. The Dow closed above the 44,000 level for the first time ever, while the S&P 500 hit a record intraday high and closed above the 6,000 level for the first time. The Trump trade was largely extended on Monday, with shares of Tesla, Bitcoin, the US dollar, and shares of US banks all surging. Bitcoin jumped 8% to hit a record high of $87,478. Crypto investors continued to celebrate Trump's win, which the market expects to be a positive catalyst amid the president-elect's promises of policies aimed at boosting the sector. Meanwhile, tech shares mostly slumped, with shares of Nvidia, Apple, and Microsoft, the world's three largest companies. Our next story is titled, Trump Already Preparing to Load Up Government with Pro-Crypto Officials. President-elect Trump has reportedly begun evaluating pro-crypto candidates for key roles in U.S. financial regulatory agencies. The Washington Post reports that Trump aides are considering a mix of current regulators, former federal officials, and executives from the financial industry for top leadership roles. Our next story is titled, Dark Web Crypto Laundering Kingpin Sentenced to 12.5 years in Prison. Roman Sterlingov, 36, a Russian-Swedish national, was also ordered to repay more than $500 million accrued from the cryptocurrency mixing service. Prosecutors said the vast majority of Sterlingov's wealth came from the proceeds of crime in which he and his online service helped criminals hide. Our next story is titled, 11 Stocks That Are Soaring After Trump's Election Win, and Why They're Up. Donald Trump's impending return to the White House has boosted some industrial sectors he has historically championed and others he advocated for during his campaign. Other sectors likely to benefit include banking, private prisons, cryptocurrency, and the non-renewable energy industry. Trump promised to cut the corporate tax rate from 21% to as low as 15%. Our next story is titled, Bitcoin Soars Past $82,000 as the Trump rally shows no sign of slowing. The leading cryptocurrency surged to $89,560 on Monday evening, just hours after reaching $82,000 earlier that day. Bitcoin has surged more than 129,296% since 2013, meaning that a $1,000 investment in Bitcoin back then would now be worth over $1.2 million. Our next story is titled, Bitcoin Rally Slows as it Nears $90,000, now with a bigger market cap than silver. The leading cryptocurrency was valued at about $86,900 as of Tuesday morning. Bitcoin's price had risen 5.6% over the prior 24 hours, adding to a rally that saw its value surge 30% in less than a week. Trump took an unprecedented pro-Bitcoin stance, championing the digital currency as a symbol of financial independence. Our next story is titled, Bitcoin, Ether, Dogecoin, Cardano and more, cryptocurrencies to watch this week. Bitcoin has surged more than 128,000% since 2013, meaning that a $1,000 investment in Bitcoin back then would now be worth over $1.2 million. Ether, the second largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization, has surged past the $3,000 mark, riding the rally alongside Bitcoin. Dogecoin, a popular memecoin and a rival to Doge, has also risen high after the election results. Our next story is titled, MicroStrategy Keeps Buying Up Bitcoin as the Trump Election Rally Powers Crypto Higher. MicroStrategy Incorporated said Monday that it spent the first weeks of November stockpiling the digital asset. Its shares are up 17% in Monday trading after the announcement. Since that day its stock is up more than 28%. It is now holding 279,420 bitcoins. Our next story is titled, What's Your Parenting Failure Style? Discover your unique parenting failure style with this fun quiz. Whether you're horrifying your teen with nauseating sex ed analogies or watching TikToks while your toddler eats a bagel from the subway floor, face it, you're flailing in the vast chasm. Our next story is titled, the Dow surges 475 points as stocks and Bitcoin continue to rally on Trump's victory. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was up 304 points, or 0.69%. The tech-heavy Nasdaq popped up 0.06%, while the S&P 500 gained 0.1%. Bitcoin surged past $87,000, adding to its 126% climb so far this year. That concludes our AI-generated news summary for today. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for our next episode.